Julian Sayin is absolutely ridiculous and earning awards left and right after the blowout win versus Wisconsin, and we got to break them all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Columbus Football 365. Before we hop into the video for today, only 3.6% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed and you're an Ohio State Buckeye football fan, hit that subscribe button. But let's jump right into the news for today. Coming from Cleveland.com, the Big Ten recognized Ohio State football's Julian Sayin as the Offensive Player of the Week for his performance Saturday at Wisconsin. And that's not even the only award that he earned over the weekend. The first-time starting quarterback completed 36 of 42 passes for 393 yards and 4 touchdowns. Sayin leads the nation with an 80% completion percentage. In the Big Ten, he ranks second in passing yards with 1,872 and in touchdowns with 19. This is the first time he's earned Player of the Week honors from the conference, but it's the third time that Julian Sayin has been named Freshman of the Week by the Big Ten. So this dude is absolutely showing out, and it's what you love to see. Let's get the right image on the screen. There it is. Julian Sayin going absolutely crazy versus Wisconsin, earning the Big Ten's Offensive Player of the Week and a third Rookie of the Week for the Big Ten. You love to see it. A redshirt freshman coming in here and going absolutely crazy. Julian Sayin showing out so far on the season. If we take a look at his stats, through almost 400 yards versus Wisconsin, 393, and those 4 touchdowns. The most notable one being, I think it was the first one. There were a bunch of touchdowns, so you got to let my memory, is a little bit fuzzy. It's tough to remember all of them, but that catch by Carnell Tate, who looks more and more like Garrett Wilson every single week. Going into the beginning of the season, I expected Carnell Tate to be maybe pick 34 in the NFL draft, maybe 36, somewhere in that Ladd McConkey, Christian Watson, Jonathan Mingo type of range. I know a lot of those players weren't good in the NFL, but just where they got drafted, the top of the second round, maybe not a first round guy, but throw that out the window. Carnell Tate is a fantastic wide receiver prospect. Reminds me a ton of, like I said, Garrett Wilson, but also reminds me of Emeka Egbuka, a guy on Ohio State's roster, overshadowed by Jeremiah Smith, the best wide receiver in all of college football. I mean, only one guy can be the best, and no one else is going to be better than Jeremiah Smith. But Carnell Tate can settle for being maybe the third best wide receiver in college football, maybe the second best. I mean, Jordan Tyson's up there. There's some pretty talented wide receivers going around at college football this year, but Ryan Williams, can't say he's been one of them so far. A couple of the other more impressive stats of Julian Sayin so far this year: 2 games with a greater than 85% completion percentage, that being versus Minnesota, and this past weekend versus Wisconsin. Just like I said earlier, currently leading all of FBS, all of college football, with an about 80% completion percentage, which is absolutely insane. Love to see that. That means your quarterback is making smart decisions, and he's not even just only dinking and dunking. He's throwing long balls. He's giving these guys chances for jump balls, throwing the ball deep, and making big plays happen, and I love to see what is going on with this offense. What started as looking like a conservative offense starting off the year versus the University of Texas has blossomed into one of the highest flying offenses in the entire scope of college football. Many people think that Ohio State is still holding some things back, and we haven't seen the full offense, what it's going to fully look like come playoff time, similar to last year where that last game looked pretty bad, but came the playoffs, it was obvious that Ohio State was holding things back that week. First week of the playoffs versus Tennessee, blowout. Week 2 in the playoffs, Oregon, blowout. I mean, there was certainly things being hidden from teams. You can't win a championship in October, so hang on to your best plays. We'll bring them out later. If we take a look at where the Heisman race currently looks, many of these betting sites have Ty Simpson out of Alabama as a betting favorite instead of Julian Sayin. Last week did a video on RG3 actually having Julian Sayin as his Heisman favorite. I haven't seen anyone other than like maybe Paul Feinbaum talking about Ty Simpson as the Heisman favorite. I know he's the betting favorite everywhere, but I'm seeing the people who know what they're talking about and the people who talk about college ball all the time on YouTube, on whatever, wherever you get college football content. I'm hearing a lot of Julian Sayin hype. Really, I was very surprised to see that Julian Sayin was the third favorite. I thought he was going to be even higher than that, but you got to tip your cap to Ty Simpson in Alabama. 4 ranked wins in the SEC in a row, and I believe the worst team was Vanderbilt, who is currently ranked 10. So, I mean, Tennessee is ranked lower than that, but I mean, Tennessee is a great team. The SEC is a great league. They are doing very, very well, but I do think Julian Sayin is better than Ty Simpson currently at this point in time. But hey, no, we're not handing out the Heisman Trophy after week 8 of the college football season, so we still got more time. Also, Fernando Mendoza, that's a player I love for the NFL draft, and I love his prospects going forwards in the NFL. I'm a Jet fan. I want to take him with the first overall pick, but right now, I would take Julian Sayin as the college quarterback over Fernando Mendoza. When it comes to traits in the NFL, I understand what college scouts are seeing when they see Mendoza is 6'5", and some of his mental traits, they might maybe want him over Julian Sayin. But I also, one more thing I got to point out, I am well aware that Julian Sayin is not able to declare this year, but Julian Sayin right there up with Diego Pavia, who is back after back in the Heisman favorites discussion after an upset versus LSU. I took a alternate spread on Vanderbilt of minus 6.5. Feel really proud about that. Absolutely sniped it. And then Diego Pavia, after the game, after upsetting LSU, he told the announcer, he said, "I love this team because everyone has each other's six," meaning everyone has each other's back. And he said, if you're on this team and no one has your back, that means I am dead. I'm like, wow, that is the quote of the year from a quarterback that I absolutely love watching. Diego Pavia is doing it all by himself on Vanderbilt, has led them to a top 10, finish. I absolutely love what I'm seeing from Diego Pavia, as well as what we are seeing here from Julian Sayin. The difference between, Sayin and Pavia, for me, Pavia is doing it all by himself, which I don't know how you couldn't be a fan of Diego Pavia. If you don't know this guy's story, he went to some sort of military institution. His family grew up poor. He has earned his way at each and every stop along the way. And I don't know how you could not be a fan of Diego Pavia. But Julian Sayin, I do think he deserves to be higher in the Heisman, contention, the Heisman race above Diego Pavia, simply because he's played better than him. I understand Sayin's supporting cast is significantly better than what Diego Pavia is working with. Pavia only has Eli Stowers, who is supposed to be a first-round pick at the tight end position coming into this college football season, but so far has underperformed relative to expectations. Julian Sayin throwing to the best college football duo wide receiver. I honestly think I would love to see what would happen if you put Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith in the NFL today. But one more name to take a look out for in the Heisman race, Marcel Reed, the quarterback for the currently undefeated Texas A&M Aggies. I believe they're ranked 5th in the country, top 5 team or top 6 team, no matter where they are. He's a tremendous player as well, and he is someone that no one's talking about. I really think people do have to talk about Marcel Reed. But bringing it back to what is going on with the Ohio State Buckeyes schedule coming up here. Going to be a bye week for October 25th. But then November 1st, we are back in action at the Horseshoe versus the Penn State Nittany Lions. And I'm not looking at the fact that they don't have a head coach anymore. They don't have Drew Aller, so my misspeak was actually correct. Drew Aller dealing with a broken ankle, so he's not going to be playing either. But you go to Penn State to play in big-time games like this, and I have no doubt that each and every single player on that roster has this game circled. They might not even make a bowl game. This is their bowl game. This is their playoff game. They are coming to beat Ohio State, and they want to hand us our, first loss of the season. Probably our only loss if you're looking at the schedule, but we're taking it one game at a time here. They want to hang a loss on Ohio State, and we have to make sure we are ready for the physicality that will be brought by Penn State. If you've watched all their games the way I have, you can see there is a marked difference in the effort level of Penn State between the Oregon whiteout night game and the games after that, with the beginning of the UCLA game and, more importantly, the entire Northwestern game. So they have the opportunity to come out and play really hard when they want to be, and they're a supremely talented defense and overall team, so they can do that. But Do not sleep on Penn State. It shouldn't be a loss, but they are coming out to try to give Ohio State everything that we can handle and more. That we got to make sure that we are up for this game. They also have the luxury of having a bye week next week, and they're coming off, is it now 4 straight losses with Iowa, UCLA, Northwestern, and Oregon. Penn State on a 4-game losing streak. That is, really rare for them. Really, really good football team. Do not sleep on them. A team you can sleep on is the Purdue Boilermakers, one of the worst teams in all of Power 4. Let's skip over them for now. Let's talk about a quarterback that I used to like, Mr. Nico Iamaleava, currently the starting quarterback for the UCLA Bruins, one of the scariest teams in the Big Ten right now. Of course, there's the big three with Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State, the top 3 teams in the conference by a mile. But after you get past that big 3, UCLA to me is the scariest team because they're the wounded animal that you don't want to touch them because they might bite at any moment. And their new play caller, who I'm blanking on his name right now, but the son of an announcer for CBS Sports, which is really, really cool to see, now calling plays for the UCLA Bruins, the new head coach or the interim head coach. He's got these guys playing at a different level than the original head coach did. And UCLA is a completely different team. They open up this weekend as a 24.5 point underdog to Indiana. I think there's no way Indiana is going to cover that spread. As good as that team is, as good as Indiana is, as good as Fernando Mendoza is, and Elijah Surratt, their number 1 wide receiver, as well as their head coach, Kurt Cignetti. UCLA, they're a different animal right now. They are playing with nothing to lose because they really do have nothing to lose. And I know this is crazy, but I've been saying this for a couple weeks and have not been proven wrong yet. UCLA, even though they have a bunch of losses, they only have 1 Big Ten loss. The problem with their schedule is they see Indiana. They already beat Penn State, and they see Ohio State. Those 3 teams for a team like UCLA, it should be, you're not making the playoffs, but so far it hasn't been. They've gotten past one of those hurdles in Penn State, and they are nothing to turn up your nose at when the Ohio State Buckeyes see them in a couple weeks. I really, really can't wait to see that game. I was a believer in Nico Iamaleava's talent coming out of high school. And after his first year, even though he didn't do anything, for some reason, I still believed in him a ton because I believed in the prospect. But Nico Iamaleava is now turning around stuff with this team. Super, super athletic. Someone that we have to be very, very, not very, very worried about, but very cautious about how we game plan for him. But this game plan, Matt Patricia is going to have something special planned for him. We're going to be turning it up. Cannot wait to see how the rest of the season turns out for our Ohio State Buckeyes. But that's what I got for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And go Buckeyes.